What's up, family? What's up, family? It's me, your boy, your urban sports guru. I'm in the building. Now we're going to cover the Western Conference of the playoffs. The Western Conference to me is going to be far more exciting than the Eastern Conference because the Eastern Conference is all about the top four seeds, which is Milwaukee, Boston, Philly, and Toronto. I think we have a consensus that those four teams are going to advance. Barring something, the only one I could be shaky about is Indiana. But Western Conference is wide open. The only series that the only series that would be a shock if the underdog won is if the Clippers beat Golden State, and that's not happening. I'm saying that's not happening. No matter how bored they get, that's not happening. So we're gonna start off the 1A matchup. I'm saying Clippers and Golden State. Golden State won the season series 3 games to 1. And I think this is a perfect series that let me get started into the playoffs. So like I said, because they've had an extra level of boredom this year, an extra level. And what I mean by that is, last year we saw them get bored. Playoffs came, turned the switch. This year, their boredom was almost like, you know what? If it ain't the NBA Finals, I don't give a fuck. So it wouldn't surprise me for them to, I say throw games would be maybe a strong words, but basically piss away games even in the playoffs out of boredom because that's how bored they looked at times. And I think them playing the Clippers, even though the Clippers are their team of dogs, alpha dogs, I love the way they play. I really do. I really love the way they play. They really exemplify their coach, Doc Rivers. And Clippers are building something strong now. This series next year may be something a whole lot different, but it's just this year they just don't have the offensive firepower to challenge Golden State, and Golden State knows that. So this is the kind of series that Golden State needs. Golden State will need to get their juices flowing, to get their mojo up. Sometimes you need to whoop up on someone completely inferior to get your mojo up, to get everything going what you need, because next round is going to be a lot different. So that's that series. Now, the 2-7 matchup is going to be Denver versus San Antonio. Now, this is going to be a great series, folks. I think this series goes 7 games. You heard me. I think this series goes 7 games. And I'm only taking Denver in this series because they got home court advantage. They split the season series 2 games to 2. And each team won their own home field, on their home court. Now Denver smacked them in the first game this season by something like 30, but then the next 3 games were decided by a total of 7 points. In this series, you got a whole court full of no names. Outside of Jokic and the Kentucky kid whose name is, I can't remember names. I know I fuck up names. Name someone else on Denver. Him, them two, and Isaiah Thomas. Now, San Antonio, you have Aldridge. Name some of these other guards. The average John Q fan can't name these people. You got guys that are going to make a name for themselves in the playoffs in this particular series. And the fact that Denver is so much Jekyll and Hyde from where they at home, where they at on the road. Also, you got to factor in Greg Popovich, one of the best coaches of all time. And this is not him going against a conglomerate in Golden State. Denver's a great squad, but they don't consistently defend, especially away from Denver. I see this series going 7 games, and I think Denver's going to win. I'm only giving this one because they got home court. Denver in 7. Now, 3-6, we have OKC versus Portland. That also is going to be a great series. Now, the point guard matchup is what everybody is looking at. Russ, the season series, OKC, they swept the season series 4-0. All 4 were great games. We closed down to the fourth quarter, and 1 game went to overtime. Now, See, the thing in this series is this. Russ is going to put up his close to triple-double numbers. And Dame's going to come at him and he's going to average 30. CJ McCollum, I think Dame is going to redeem himself from the series he had last year. He's definitely going to redeem himself from last year. Made no mistake. And CJ McCollum was kind of off and on against OKC this year. The reason why I'm taking OKC in 6 games is very, very simple. It's not because Portland does not have Nurkic. That is the easy excuse. Because you got Enes Kanter who can give you some minutes. Even if they had Nurkic, I would still take OKC, and I would take OKC for this reasoning. Paul George against Portland Trailblazers is averaging 38 points per game. I'm saying this again. He is averaging 38 points per game. Want to know why? Because he is either being guarded or has to defend against Maurice Harkless and Al-Farouq Aminu. None of these guys even average 10 points a game. Portland has absolutely nobody that they could count on the wing to even make Paul George work on the other end. Nobody. So you're giving Paul George carte blanche to come down and do what the fuck he want to do. And this is what he does against them, and that's going to be the difference in this series. That's going to be the difference. You're going to see a great battle in the point guard matchup, but OKC will win this series in 6 games. Even though Portland wasn't able to get him one in the regular series, baby Dame, I'm giving him 2 games. I'm giving him that much credit. I'm giving him that much respect. He will redeem himself. He doesn't have enough help. Even when Nurkic, they have no one on the wing. Nobody. And because of that, I'm going to say the same thing about Portland that I said about Washington last year. They're going to have to make changes after the end of this season. Washington fucked up because they didn't make changes. They doubled down, getting Dwight Howard, and we all know what happened to Dwight Howard this year. And John Walls ended up being hurt. Last year, this time, it was Washington versus Toronto. And I said the loser of this series is going to have to make changes. Toronto made changes. Washington didn't. I'm saying this right now about Portland. They lose this series as I'm expecting them to. They're going to have to make some changes. Just my take on it. Let me know what you think. But last but not least, we have Houston versus Utah, which I think also will be a great series. Expect that to be a great series, but the thing is, they split the season series 2 games to 2. Some of the games that Utah won was when Houston wasn't at full strength. You know, CP3 was suspended after his fight when Rondo. He missed that game. Then they did beat them once with CP3 and Capella up in Utah. But games they won is when James Harden went nut. 43 and 47 respectively. So the fact that I expect to see James Harden go nut in this series. The only question is, at least for a series, can Donovan Mitchell match him? I expect him to be able to do it in a couple of games. And with the way they defend as a whole, having Gobert in the middle manning the paint, I'm going to give them 2 games. But Houston's going to win. Houston in 6. That's just my take on the first round. It's the Western Conference. I gave you out the East. Let me know what you think. Put your thoughts, put your comments. It's me, your boy, your Urban Sports Guru. I'm out of here. Salute.